big. 5,000 square feet of Wisconsin lakeside perfection, with plenty of play space for a growing family. Most people would never have gotten this far, considering all it took to build this one-of-a-kind log home. But then again, they're not Betsy Elgin.
It had to be a log home. We didn't consider anything else. I didn't consider anything else.
Betsy was determined to get exactly what she wanted, and no one was going to stand in her way. Not even Mr. Elgin.
He was not so thrilled with the idea because his idea of log cabins was that they were dark and dingy.
And anything but the dream home he had in mind.
I had my doubts. Yeah.
But Betsy refused to let it go, even recruiting an ally to help in the fight, Jeff, on the idea of an epic Northwoods office with awesome views. But then they had to actually find those views. The Elgins set their sights on the Chain o' Lakes recreation area near Waupaca, Wisconsin. Betsy's grandparents once owned a cabin here. Trouble is, lake property in this neck of the woods is hard to come by. So, when a prime lot went up for sale, Betsy insisted the family cut short a vacation out west to hop a red-eye home and make an immediate cash offer of $900,000. Worth every penny, from what Betsy could see.
We just have a nice hard sand beach out there that extends way out, and the west facing for the sunset. We love that, and it's just a beautiful piece of property.
Beautiful, but way too small for the cabin Jeff and Betsy had in mind. And odd-shaped to boot.
Our lot is pie-shaped, and it's wider at the lakeside than it is on the inland side, and most lots are not designed that way.
To make matters worse, there's a zoning law requiring any construction to be at least 75 feet from the lakeshore.
We had to modify the plan because we had to make the house 10 feet narrower partway through.
Knowing they'd be locked into the final design, Betsy and Thad spent nearly a year reworking the plans down to the very last inch. By Betsy's count, it felt like they went through 50 sets of blueprints.
Officially on record, if you look, we have 17 versions, but in between those 17 are many small ones that we didn't actually rename.
Finally, just as they were about to break ground, sticker shock sent them back to the drawing board yet again.
And so they actually bid the project out. It came in about $800,000 more than the maximum that we had decided to spend, and I just about had a heart attack.
Thad suggested erasing a $300,000 octagonal tower from the plan to save some cash. That didn't fly with Jeff, because it would have meant the end of his office, the one thing that got him to agree to the plan in the first place. They'd also have to scrap an elevated dining room with floor-to-ceiling windows.
This is one of my favorite places in the entire house. It's just a beautiful panoramic view, 270 degrees of glass looking over two lakes because we're on a point between two lakes.
So, Jeff insisted that it all stay. The Elgins ordered the logs and broke ground, but not until the end of the summer season because Betsy didn't want to disturb the neighbors. But that delay created a massive problem for the construction crew. Shortly after the foundation was laid, winter struck early and hard.
It was a nightmare. I think it was one of the hardest winters that we've ever had here in Wisconsin. It was windy and ice storms continually, and that winter, we only missed one day of work, so we fought through the weather because we needed to get it done.
Nail guns and power tools froze up. Icy slopes made it so slippery, Thad's forklifts were stranded at the building site. So the huge windows for the Elgins' great room had to be hand-carried from the road to the cabin.
Normally, a big window would take us an hour or two. These windows took us a whole day apiece to get them in. Each window took approximately a dozen people.
The top windows you see behind me are 30 feet above ground level, and so they had to lift them up. They had other people on the inside on scaffolding with 1 foot on the log and 1 foot on the scaffolding, trying to wrestle the window into place while they mounted it. It was very scary.
Betsy and Jeff may have started out with totally different visions of what a dream house should look like, but ended up at the exact same place, loving their epic masterpiece.
Well, what we were looking for in this home was a place where we could entertain friends and family. Not too massive, but enough where we could bring a crowd in and just have a really wonderful time. I like just walking in the front door. I like the way the great room looks, and I like just seeing the lake out through the front windows. It's like, welcome to the lake, you're home.
log stairs lead to the top floor and a loft, with more of those amazing lake views. Plus, some of the cabin's 5 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms. Among the Elgin's favorite spots, a fully stocked cherry wood bar on the lower level.
This bar top represents a carve-out of the entire Chain of Lakes recreational area that we're in. You can see how the lakes follow all the way across the bar. Our house is represented by the green tree, which is right in the center.
On the same level, a huge TV room and a log-framed pool table.
We designed it as a grandkid magnet, too. We don't have any grandkids yet, but we want to have lots of them. And that's the bunk room and the setup downstairs was really designed for a younger crowd.
The bunk room sleeps 8, and its adjoining bathroom is built to accommodate a crowd of cousins all at once. And just in case any of the Elgin's guests land here for an extended stay, they should feel honored to get sent to the garage.
The mother-in-law suite has a bedroom and a living room area that we can also convert into a second bedroom up there. There's a little kitchenette.
Despite a rocky start, Betsy managed to win over the biggest cabin skeptic of all.
Oh, loved it. The craftsmanship, so many places in the house is just amazing.
But it ain't cheap to slumber with such epic lumber. The price tag on this piece of Pine Country paradise, next. Betsy Elgin set her heart on recapturing her childhood with an epic log cabin in Wisconsin Lake Country. It comes complete with an octagonal tower, lots of play space, and a bunk room. How far out on a limb did they have to go? Close to $2 million.